I believe the population of DeSoto when we moved there was roughly 6,000 people or so. We had one stoplight. We've been in DeSoto since 2008. My wife and I bought property there and built our home, and we raised our daughters there. And we moved there primarily for that small town feel. My wife and I had both grown up in smaller towns. And
we wave to each other as we drive down the street. Kids walk to school still in DeSoto. We know these people. Some of them grew up with my kids and now are going to school there.
We still love DeSoto, but there's no doubt it will change with the battery plant.
The Panasonic facility came here to build EV batteries. Panasonic is a $4 billion construction project. They'll employ 4,000 people, and there'll be 4,000 ancillary jobs. Personally, I'm excited, but and even myself am a little overwhelmed by the magnitude of it.
The Kansas district kind of saw this area of DeSoto, Eudora, as sort of a Lutheran desert to begin with. But then several years ago, DeSoto landed the Panasonic battery plant. So they solicited us to be the mother church. Beautiful Savior was a district church plant. They started worship services in one of the grade schools, and they finally chartered in 1992.
And then we built the building, and first year we were in, we had 85% growth. The second year, another 85% growth.
I was a Sunday school superintendent when we opened the church, and we were already busting at the seam.
It was ironic that when the Kansas district reached out to Beautiful Savior to become the mother church for the Light of the World out in DeSoto, when we chartered, our goal was to be a mother church for a mission plant, and it was our viewpoint back then that mission plant would probably be out in the DeSoto area.
At first, it was hard to find a place to worship. Being a funeral home is maybe a little different, but it's a funeral home 6.5 days a week, and then the half a day we have it's church.
There will be an associate pastor of Beautiful Savior who will lead the charge for that church plant. We'll be looking at land. District is going to help finance through LCEF. I'm sure there will be building that LCEF finances eventually along the way.
When we first came together as a group, one of the things that we felt like was our charter calling is daycare and preschool.
Once we get the church going, we want to get a preschool and daycare started. We figured with all the workers at Panasonic, they're going to need childcare.
Beautiful Savior Preschool has been around since 2001, and it is definitely an outreach ministry of Beautiful Savior. We've grown from 65 children up to 144 children.
I think the hand that Beautiful Savior has in the church plant in DeSoto, Kansas right now is largely in part to the kind of growth and sustained ministry we have had here, and just the history that Beautiful Savior has of being involved and involving the members. The church was originally founded by a handful of members who actually built the building we're in right now. So it's very much hands-on, get it done kind of a congregation that I think that has just perpetuated itself over the years.
We really do see this as God just dropping this church plant in our lap, and how can we say no?